So the fabric of it is to build up the community by winning the hearts and the minds of the people with undisputable truth and the arati, the unshakable facts.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Right? So we come, we teach, they learn, and they awaken. The great mother going back on her feet.
Yep.
Ain't
One
no
way or
doubt
the other.
about it. One way or
One way or
another,
the other.
by hook or by
Yeah.
crook, we will
By any
burn this
means
mother
necessary.
down if she ain't getting what's hers. My mama said, "Don't let nobody take nothing from my sisters and my brothers." And I
Yeah, Big
seen that
Mama put it like,
my sister's planet was being held hostage. So I had to find out who did it, how they did it, why they did it, where they done it at, right? And then I had to reverse it, turn that shit around on their ass, telling the people step by step, this is what they did, so we had to do this. So under the Indigenous Rights Act, knowing that I'm organic to the land with the blood and the rights, I canceled their contracts because Big Mama told me to. She told me to get the imposters off the land. Then I got the message from mothers all across the land that's telling me the same thing, right? And it culminates in the dream when I'm called by three kings, three
go
sky
ahead.
chiefs.
Go
And the
ahead.
three sky chiefs is the three high chiefs that called the low chief to come up to the top and do some work.
Go ahead.
They call it sheep dipping in military science, taking the
Okay. Go
person
ahead.
from their specialty but using them where you need them in the time of war. Big Mama told him, y'all gonna keep pushing him to the side, but you're gonna need him sooner or later. And here I am.
Yeah.
I didn't gripe, bicker, complain. I just laid down my motherfucking hand and told the truth.
North
Standing in
J
a
Bump.
position to right, letting thunder fly. So prepare for what y'all about to see because we almost to the grand finale now. We can go to Q&A from here, Elder.
Hey man, people said they don't really got no questions. You done cracked heads and twist caps and put niggas in the comas, man, with this every time, like every little piece. It's just you steady building onto this building. I'm calling it the Roy Hayes building, right? I believe, hey Roy, I believe you one of the last masters I supposed to sit with. I supposed to sit with you to get this part. You one of the last masters. Now it's a like I'm on a whole nother level now with all the shit you've been giving me. I'm
Man,
on a whole nother level.
I can't wait to sit and talk to Malachi and Farrakhan, Larry Hoover, Jeff Ford at the same time. Man, can you
Man, now
imagine that
that's go
conversation?
man, I give my
I'll be in
whole check to see that.
conversational heaven.
I'll give my whole check to see that
I'll
shit.
be
That's
in
gonna be
conversational heaven.
man, you know, hey, you got hey, them boys will be so spooked out about that. Them alphabet boys, they'll be man. You remember I saw a video with I think it was Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. They went in the back room and talked, and then they came back out and they was asking them, "What did y'all talk about?" And they said, "Oh, we ain't telling you
That was
what we
Muhammad
talked
Ali.
about." Oh, Muhammad Ali.
That was
Yeah, it was
Muhammad
Muhammad
Ali.
Ali. Yeah, that was Muhammad Ali. That was fire. I say
Yeah,
Muhammad.
he's like, when your president go in and talk to Khrushchev, we don't ask you what y'all was talking about in there.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
When you
yeah.
want to ask us?
See, yeah. See, but what they messed up though. They stopped us from that when they started watching us, with the COINTEL Pro and everything. So when we started meeting up, they watch us. But now they caused a bigger. It's everything is spreading a bigger way now. It's like all we got to do is get the minds to agree and overstand what you saying, and all we got to do is think it. Once we start thinking on this frequency, the big mama energy, this shoe tough nut resonance, once we start thinking on that level, everything fall into place mentally first, and then everything else go into place. Once we got our mind together on what everything you saying, with everything that ancestors been teaching. Once we got our mind on that, that's what gonna make us win right then. We already won though. I feel like we already at the last about to cross through the ropes and break the rope for the finish line, man. We right there, bro. Now all we doing
Mm-hmm.
now is removing the parasites. Removing the parasites. It's what Trump was
Nothing
everybody we
personal.
yeah, just get rid of the parasites. That's it.
Yeah,
The
nothing
ones that was
personal.
feeding off us. Hmm. Man, so everybody's saying this right here was fire, man. It says, can you tell Raw I had a dream about him? we were talking in my mama's living room, and a big bald eagle landed on his shoulder. Can you ask him what does that mean? What was that about?
Which shoulder?
Hey, which shoulder was it? That was Ja. Which shoulder was it? Was it Ja Mira? Mira. Oh yeah, hey
So the
though,
bald
Chief be
eagle is
cheap, man. Go ahead.
yeah, the birds of prey
Right shoulder.
represent different. Okay, birds of prey represent different types of chiefs, and the bald eagle is the high chief's symbol. So the right shoulder is so the bird land on the right shoulder. That's where my totem symbol is, telling me that the chief is coming in off the right in order to get my attention. When you say coming in off the right, that means coming in righteously. So it's a return to the ancient ways.
That's
I
fire.
used to see elders in horseback. When I close my eyes, they be standing there on horseback looking, and I hope what the hell?
Yeah.
But they was just reminding me of my responsibilities and my duties.
I
My
remember. I remember.
discovery make me obligated to the collective clans to tell the people what was done to us to undermine the great mother and take her from her position on the land. So when you understand ritual magic, then you get to see the magic that was done, the curses that was laid upon us to keep us from ever getting free. But remember, it said that the first shall be made last and the last shall be made first, right? But the first still got to come back to the front because they the only ones that's going to be able to fix it. So those which was the last became the first under the white man's burden through the Catholic Church being the enforcement arm in the kingdoms of the Babylonian Empire, which trace us back to the doctrines of Enlil's sons, Ninursin, which is the law of sin, which is the blood rights, the sex magic, and the money magic. And then it takes us to his other son, who was his general, that was using the chemical warfare. We talking Marduk,
Yeah.
right? And the chemical warfare came in the forms of strange diseases that had never been seen on Earth before. And that's what they was giving us with smallpox laced blankets.
For all the information and everything that you give out. I have some questions. I wrote it down.
All right, let's go. Let's get some black girl magic learning up in here.
Okay, so my first question is about human emotion and the release of it. Is that a normal thing as one continues on through their ascension process? Because I find myself like when things happen, like in the news, like I hear about something happening, let's just say, right? And I'm all like, my first thought is like, damn, what did they do in the past life that they going through this? So it's not necessarily, oh my God, the kids, oh my God, what happened to them? It's more like, what is your soul trying to learn? So is that a natural thing that's supposed to happen, or am I just like going too far deep into it with losing the human?
So you're looking at it from a multi lifetime event, culminating with the event you're observing. Because you tying it to their karmic debt. You sensing that somebody is getting exactly what they was asking for.
And I always tie it back to we ask, or we, how can I put it? Everything that is like we ask to go through that process. So it's just basically taking responsibility for the things that happen to us or through us and the experiences that we go through. So, okay.
Yeah, so some of those events are exaggeration of the event in order to trigger an emotional reaction. If you're a natural bullshit detector, it won't work on you. And it can't draw your sorrows out of you for the event because you can read behind the scenes of something else going on.
Yes.
So DJ Quick got a verse in one of his songs from the 90s saying Columbine ain't nothing new. In Compton, they shoot up schools too.
Yeah.
They cruise through trying to see who's wearing red and who's blue. But we don't get the international sensational attention drawn to but the first victim they're going to show is this little blonde haired, blue eyed girl or boy that was so fucking cute as a button. Yeah, so all of those are rituals. The sensationalism of the tells you where they want your attention focused at. It's the David Copperfield finna make an elephant disappear. It's on the marquee. The great illusionist, David Copperfield, makes elephant disappear. Now, we get ready to go into the doors. Everybody's saying before they go in there, I'm going to see the trick. So they already know by reading the sign, it's an illusion. He ain't finna make no fucking elephant disappear. But he gonna make it look like the elephant disappeared. So now everybody swear they not gonna get tricked. And then the curtain come down and the elephant fucking gone. Where'd he go? I thought you said he wasn't gonna trick your dumb ass. So one of the 6 senses of a female when she becomes a mother, she becomes a human bullshit detector because it's a defense mechanism to protect her children from people with bullshit on their mind. She get a sensation in the pit of her stomach, and then she asks herself, what the fuck is that? And then she hear the voice of her big mama say, don't trust that nigga around your kids. That's the same thing when you see these sensationalized events. Why you don't respond the way they want you to, because your mama senses is turned on. And you know, every one of these kids is classified as bipolar under the care of a psychiatrist or psychologist. Anybody study MK Ultra know that they do sleeper soldiers and they narcotize them in studies, and they found it was the most effective sleeper agents to activate. That's all MK Ultra information from the 50s. And they running the shit on us in the 90s and the 2000s. Right? So then they can send their sleeper cells to do the dirt. It's a false flag event, but people really got hurt.
Yeah.
So then they sensationalize it in order to draw your attention away from the elephant they about to make not disappear. That way you can't see where your shit at.
That's deep. Well, another thing I wanted to ask you was about one of your laws. You said that, or you call yourself Thoth or Tahuti. So I was like, why aren't y'all asking him about what he wrote down? So one of your biggest things that you wrote down that boggles my mind is all truths or but half truths.
Because most people take sides. You can't see the whole problem. There's 2 sides to it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't see both sides, you can't see the whole truth.
But I'm taking it, or I guess I'm looking at it wrong because I'm looking for like an absolute truth. And so when I hear all truths are but half truths, I'm all like, I can't make it absolute.
Right.
Because it's only half of,
And the maxim of thought says that you are the only absolute, the source from which you came. All other things is one side or the other of a reflection of that absolute truth. The balance is the only way to see both halves of the half truths. The dark side and the light side. The left hand path and the right hand path.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to remain on the straight and narrow. When you follow what's in your heart, you can see that the half truth, what the other half is. So that's why all things are but half truths. It's like Noble Drew Ali said it. He said, man, is truth and falsehood strangely mixed. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Reality is based on the manifestation of the thing that doesn't really exist. Everything we see in the 3D world ain't nothing but a conglomeration of atoms.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't really there.
So this goes back to the concept of this reality being all mental. It's basically
it's a mental projection from a group of gods to create a holographic reality. The layout is Metatron's cube.
Okay, which is a square.
It's the star of life.
Okay.
The 6-point star in the circle, but it's really the star of life. It's two pyramids interlocking with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the holographic imagery that begins the foundation to build on. Now, we creating a hologram, but the collective of the gods have to agree to maintain the hologram. So these are what we call the 4 pillars of the earth, which is the 4 great gods of the earth, which is Isis, Osiris, Tahuti, and Ra. Right? So the great mother and the great father raised the wise son, right, to reflect the great father Ra. As a son on earth, we produce as the sky, mother creator, Big Mama, produce as the center of the solar system. Right? So the gods collectively hold the hologram in place. And then when the hologram comes into disorder, then the gods manifest in human form to inform the humans of how to restore order. When they get the message has to reach critical mass of the chosen ones to redeem the clans and to make everything reverse back. It's a reset.
Is this happening like, is this what we would call the epoch?
Yeah.
So every 24,000 years, it resets over? Okay, that's what I was thinking.
And that's why in the book of Thoth it said, I won't be back for some thousands of years.
Yeah, okay, cool. One thing I was noticing is when I was meditating one time, I came up out of meditation and I wasn't using my third eye. I was using these 2 eyes and I saw the number 3 and it was going down, like looking like how the matrix is set up, that green line stuff. Was I seeing the code? The streamer? I was actually seeing the code of the room that I was in? Okay.
Well, you were seeing the streamer. The streamer was answering something that you put in the energy field. You were psychic sensitive.
Yeah, I figured that.
But you haven't trained your senses.
No.
So when your answers come, you can't translate them. You feel what they mean, but you can't explain it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just happens randomly too. Like one day I was just looking at TV. I wasn't even meditating. I looked off to the side and it looked like it was a projector screen, and it was just floating in midair, and I could see what somebody was doing. I could see them talking to the people in their house. I could see that they were looking at TV, the computer, and all this other stuff, but they couldn't see me. Just, you know, what the heck? But it has been so much.
You know, Instagram, the bullshit, y'all.
Am I asking the wrong questions? Have we fought in this war many times?
This war is a long, protracted struggle, but it's only been during this 24,000-year cycle has it been hostile.
Okay. Okay. Is this do we have many agendas when we come down here for like soul growth, doing shadow work, and a whole bunch of other stuff mixed up together?
Yeah.
Okay.
So all of that is what you call your book of life.
Okay. Okay.
Your book of life is your DNA code, right? And by learning who you are and learning to trust and believe in yourself and love yourself, it starts revealing the blueprint in real time, and you reading it as it's happening. This is in my book of life, right? Right.
Yeah.
In your book of life, you have what's called fail safes. You know when they say when the student is ready, the teacher will come?
Yes.
Right. Well, while the student is taking the test, the teacher is quiet. Right? So if you're not stuck, there's no need to communicate with the teacher. You got to do your work.
It still feels lonely though.
That's because you're searching in your heart for your path. That sensation of loneliness comes from being drawn to your path, because can't nobody walk it but you. So the being alone becomes the rule to develop where you want to go.
Right.
That's where you map out your best life scenario. That's where you get to read the final chapter in your book of life for this earth realm. And then you work towards the end from where you at. You fill in the gap. That's part of the learning to love yourself, because while you're looking for validation to relieve the loneliness externally, you can't never validate yourself to be whole, so that it'll automatically attract what you need, and the loneliness won't come into play.
Okay. One more question. I've been having like this feeling, I think it's because of my natal chart. I have a more humanitarian type of vibe going on. And when this new earth happens, what's going to happen to those that don't make it? Are they going to be in like a waiting state and before they're able to incarnate back on here? But it's not going to be a 3D realm. It's going to be a 5D realm, right?
It's going to still look the same.
Oh, okay.
But technologically, it won't be the same.
Yes. And bodies will be different. These avatars will be different as well, right?
They're going to alter over time.
2060 keep coming up for me. I keep getting like completion. I don't know what that means. So just putting that out there. Thank you so much, Rod, for everything.
Okay, you're welcome, sweetie.
Okay. Bye.
So she was talking about the self-work aspects, learning who you is. The goal is to learn how to read your book of life, and then you can follow the pattern to your best life with the least amount of resistance. But if you don't read it, you're gonna bump into every obstacle till you get down the right path. So you're gonna either walk the road blindly, or you're gonna open up the path and walk the road and with your eyes wide open, even when they shut, because you have a plan, right? So old saying, those who fail to plan has planned to fail, because you're gonna have a plan whether you develop it or not, right? So when you put all of this shit together, we get a whole nother level of understanding and growth from a spiritual perspective to aid in the overall development of the human. So we going into uncharted territory. So the genetics is a motherfucker, and inviting the right species to complement the DNA in order to correct the birth defect anomalies to prevent people from ascending and balancing these energies. Ooh, that's some testy shit. Okay, I got 5 questions. The last new moon of the year, the people who do moon magic would already know what to do for that. If you're not into moon magic, then to spontaneously do the rituals without the training probably won't make much sense. So the problem with the children that's prone to suicide is they going through transitional phases, and nobody told them that the shit's supposed to get hard, so they're not prepared for it. So they drop out of class, basically, is what the suicide is. The Grand Canyon is not connected to Arizona by geography. It's connected by a Stargate. There was a Stargate in Arizona that came out in Cairo by the Pyramid Complex. We in Atlantis, Lemuria, a whole different landmass is no longer present. It's under the ice in Antarctica. Shangri-La, I'm not too versed on that one. Listen, there is no philosopher or scholar that existed in the BC period and early AD period that didn't finish their master studies up in Alexandria.
That's right. Go ahead. Hey, this right here book look fire too. The ancient
this is a collection of 5 or 6 books, maybe 7.
Hey, go ahead, Roy. You got another book you want me to pull up before we go to the next one? While we up in this?
Yeah, you might as well pull up the Holy Science.
Okay, the Holy Science.
So in here he gives you a blueprint of the collective conscious, and when you meditate, how to move through the unconscious. See the man with the beard in the first picture?
Yeah. Damn, bro. How you be knowing all these damn books, bro? You got more books in your head than the damn library, bro.
All sleeping quarters.
Yeah.
Right. So this is the Longhouse of War. That would have been the Gullah Geechee Big Mama that called us over here. She would have had the tribesmen come in and build this longhouse so that we have sleeping quarters at the war.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So we would have had the longhouse, then we would have had the red house would have been for the daughters, and the blue house would have been for the sons. This is how you get your different rites of passage. Then you had babies that was too young to live with the boys, and they stayed extra time in the red house. That became the sons of the red house.
Okay.
These are all traditions around the world that were usurped and organized under ritual rites of secret societies. When you know your culture, when you read it back to the people, they understand what's going on the land. Right? So the Iroquois Constitution was the codified oral speeches that somebody overheard and wrote them down in a longhouse meeting. And that's how they end up with a constitution. The reason the Constitution worked because it was a blood right oath.
Okay.
And the blood right tied us to the George Washington challenge because the Constitution, the original Constitution, was taken away and rewritten in the blood of a guy named Crispus Attucks. Type him in.
All right, Crispus Attucks.
Yep, CRISPUS ATTICKS.
They spell that last name Attucks.
You got to spell his first name, his last name will pop up. PUS CRISPUS.
I got you.
Yeah, there you go.
What?
First one. That one.
A Nubian brother.
You see the one right there with the writing on it to tell you a little bit about him? Yeah.
Yeah, free black man living in Boston.
Blow that up.
All right, let me see. Can I blow it up for you? We can't go for that free black man joint no more, man. They hustle on. That's their hustle game. Yeah, free black man living in Boston during the time of Boston massacre. Possible descendant of the Wampanoag Indians, and yeah, we know he a descendant. I know possible. They burning their game, and the African American slaves were referred in the Martin Luther King Jr.'s 1964 speech. Died instantly from a bullet at the Boston massacre. You know that was a setup, Rod. Go ahead.
Now remember,
that was a setup.
I told you this who blood the Constitution was written in.
Instantly at a massacre. Go ahead.
You hear me? This is whose blood the original. Yeah, the Constitution was written in his blood. That's why we couldn't break it. That's why it took us so long to break it, because they used the blood of the righteous to write the contract. Notice he the first person killed.
Go ahead, man.
They using Babylonian blood magic. Right. And they wrote the Constitution in his blood. This is what make us have to go into the conjure war, because now we locked into the contract that they call the Constitution. Type in original Constitution.
That's crazy, bro. That's good stuff right here, bro.
It's in the George Washington Memorial, I believe. Your mitochondrial frequency is putting more energy into your DNA, which is making your auric field expand out further than it normally would. You're moving into what you call your matriarchal position now, which is a high mother's seat. Right, so your mother instincts are sharp, keen, and you protective of the children, and these are the things that's driving your mitochondria to continuously expand this energy into the DNA. When this happens, your chakras, right? Your chakras are gotta have to be aligned. If they don't, then the harmony is in disarray. Once you start aligning the chakras, it plays a beautiful musical symphony. The songs are the spheres, which is all chakras playing in harmony together. And it's a combination of grounding, spiritual baths, and cleanses. And you got the cleanses out the way. So now you just at the spiritual baths and the grounding and the me time. You got to have your me time. Because that's where you start to reorganize all of that stuff in your me time.
Okay.
I appreciate the call, sis.
Get thanks. Peace,
All right,
peace.
thank you. Peace,
All right.
peace. All right, let's get to the next caller. Let's get to Miko. Miko. What's up, Miko? You got a question? Yeah.
You live on stage, girl.
Miko. I don't think she knows.
She
I can't
must
hear
have-
you. I can't hear you.
Are you on mute?
I can't hear you. It's her computer. She's not on mute on my end. We can't hear you, Miko. Yeah, Miko, we can't hear you. All right, Miko, I'm gonna have to let you go. Let me see if she.
Nope. She probably don't have a microphone on the computer.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Go to the next caller.
Taze.
Hi, nice to meet both. My name is
What's your, how you say your name?
Thais.
Thais. All right. What's your question, Thais?
So everyone has a very different opinion on this, but I just want to hear your take on it, Rod Hayes, because you're an extremely smart person. So I just want to hear what you have to say. So what time frame would you say like you should have like your gold, your land, and all your like stuff in order by? Because I'm like in the process of getting my stuff in order, but I want to know like I like knowing different people's perspectives, if that makes sense.
You mean for your personal life path? At what age should you have all your goals accomplished or met? Or
Yeah.
so that's individual by individual. First off, because your goals are not my goals. My goals are not your goals. And you set your goals based on the ability you have to achieve it now, or what do you have to learn in order to be good at whatever it is that's going to allow you to accomplish your goal. If I wanted to be the heavyweight champion in the world, I should have started training 50 years ago, 40 years ago when I was 10, right? But I didn't train to be the heavyweight champion in the world then. So that was an unrealistic goal if I had it at 10 years old, or it was a dream, a fantasy, right? Anything that you get, whatever your goal is, you have to do what's called a self-evaluation. Where am I at right now in accomplishing this goal? Right? What do I know about it? I want to be a hair tech, but I ain't never did hair a day in my life. Well, the first thing I need to do is find somewhere where somebody can teach me the basics of doing hair. Right? Because I can't set a goal to be a hair tech with my own salon and I can't do hair. I can get the salon, but I wanted to be the tech that's doing it. I can't participate in. That's an unrealistic expectation. And so that wouldn't be a good goal. But if I set the goal, I know, okay, well, it's going to take me this amount of time to learn how to do this type of hair, right? And then from there, it's going to take me this amount of time to implement a business model that allows me to get to that part where now I've successfully become a nail tech with my own salon, right? So it becomes your ability to map and plot your program determines when it's the attainability of the goal. If you want to be a doctor, the earlier you start studying medicine, the better, right? So my nephew was 6, told me he wanted to be a doctor. Told me when he was 8, I sent him a Merck manual of medicine, and I sent him a medical encyclopedic dictionary. He needed to know the language, and he needed to know what they using to treat what. Then later on, I could send him something on homeopathy to start steering toward a naturopathic physician's mindset, because there's a herb for every ailment of the body. You know, so your goals are contingent upon your preparation and your deadlines. How well will you be in plotting your path? It's individual by individual.
I appreciate your call, sis.
Thank you.
All right, peace. All right. Let's get to another one. Our connection seems to be
Don't say nothing. Just keep doing what we doing.
just keep going what we doing. Let's get to Candy Kane. What's good, Candy Kane? You got a question for Rod Hayes?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm hearing a delay. I'm hearing more than one.
You sound muffled. Is your microphone covered up or something on your phone?
We can't hear you.
I do. So, hi, how you doing? How do you overcome your fears? Like earlier you spoke about fear.
Nah, yeah, can't hear you good.
It's not. Can you hear me now?
It's
a delay.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
So you asked for strategies on how to overcome fears, right?
Yes, and how do you spiritually protect yourself?
Okay, so spiritual protection falls under the category of psychic self-defense. There's a lot of different ways you can do that. The basics of spiritual baths and grounding are the most basic forms of psychic self-defense you can do. The next things that you need to learn how to do is take spiritual baths to clean your spiritual self, just like you do your physical self. You learn all this stuff, and it helps you to be able to develop psychic self-defense until you start learning other methods. Like, you got candle magic for defense, incense magic, you have oil magic, you have Florida water magic. There are all these different forms of protections that you can use. Crystal magic is one of the best, and protection stones. So you studying things spiritually to help you protect yourself spiritually, right? So it falls under psychic self-defense. Protect the mind, protect the spirit.
Indeed. All right, so yeah, I appreciate everybody for calling in tonight. You want to do one more, Rob? What you think, or you want to?
Yeah, let's keep going. Let's see if we can get a couple more in.
All right, let's keep it moving. Let's go to brother Troy Benz.
Yes, thank you.
Troy Benz.
Peace, brother. Peace to both of y'all.
What's that?
I've been waiting. Thank you, Rich, for what you're doing, and Rod for being the truth. I've heard this channel speak on this subject a couple of times. I was just wondering if you could expound on how, if you have a separation from your physical family, I think it was Sister Myra Moss that said you become closer with your spiritual family. Is that true, especially when you start stepping closer to the truth?
Okay, sometimes your physical family is your spiritual family, and sometimes you born into a family where you a lone wolf.
Yeah.
Even the lone wolf at some point in his life is going to form a pack. The only difference between the lone wolf is called a Zeta wolf. And the difference between him and a regular alpha is everybody on his team is carefully selected. You don't want nobody that ain't like him. So there's normally later in life, they normally live 2 or 3 years longer than a regular wolf pack. And they normally have a stronger pack while they're functional, but the pack have a tendency to break apart because that trait is pronounced in the alphas to become zetas. To become the lone wolf, then that's because they have the drive to form their own pack and to be the leader of their own crew, their own clan. This how you have high chiefs, then you got scout chiefs, you got local chiefs, and then you got national chiefs. That's the easiest way for me to explain it. Like all of the chiefs on the land know, even if you don't know they chiefs, you know who Tukey is, you know who Larry Hoover is, you know who Angel Bay is. We all know who they is. Right? And out of the despised and rejected, they the most loved and most respected. Right? And that's us. That's how we know how to find us in the darkness.
Hey, Troy, I appreciate your question, my brother.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
All right, peace. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's get to Bruja, the truth.
What's going on, girl?
Hey, you guys, how are you? Finally, I get to talk to you. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah. It's kind of loud,
Very
but I can.
Yeah, I do apologize. 1 second. So, I was watching the forum and kind of going, well, I don't have like a lot of questions. I'm glad a lot of people's things are being fulfilled, but I actually did find one thus far. I've been very privileged to have some amazing intuition and what I thought when I was walking my Christian walk, what was prophetic skills. I mean, they still are. And the universe just has a way of delivering things. So my biggest question is, because it was presented to me in the beginning of my walk, tarot cards. And I had a young lady that talked to who also experienced a very similar thing. And she kind of had some questions and doubts based on what we were told about them and how it was delivered to us. And I have them, and I've utilized them in the proper way and always made sure to meditate and do the things that were necessary. I've never gotten negative results, but I know that reading people and doing readings is it's a gift. And so I wanted to know where tarot cards fell for us in that particular instance.
Well, when I'm talking to the chiefs, only the ones that come from priest lands do I recommend oracle reading. But tarot cards was created by Tahuti to learn the language for you to remote view and scroll creation. It's just a training set. You already have the skill. You just need a tool to help you train. Bodybuilders don't carry the weights on the stage with them. They just carry the result, right? Well, when you doing tarot readings, you just got somebody in the gym. Because sooner or later, the card's just going to be there just to be sitting on the table while you're talking.
Deep.
You know, that's just training wheels. The runes, the same thing. The I Ching, the cowrie shells, the entrails, those are just training wheels to look at the imprint that nature has on things and see it as a message as opposed to something to fear. And most of these things are barred from us by a barrier of fear, by demonizing and villainizing them. I just got a new deck and I'm waiting on the deck to come in the mail.
I got 3 decks in 1 week. And they dropped in my lap 3 decks in 1 week, and one is probably is almost as old as me. It's almost 40. That deck is almost 40 years old, and it came from the universe. I'm not going to say seemingly nowhere, but it was presented to me, and I was kind of like at first shied away, and then a few practices, but I wasn't sure quite where that was in my walk. But it fit niche wise. I just want to make sure it was well within the process of things. Thank you so much, you guys.
All right, I appreciate you. Oh, pieces. All right, let's get to
it. Look, everything that we use to develop our higher consciousness, they turned it into something evil.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So that keep you from, you want to be a good, righteous individual. I ain't give a fuck, but you want to be a good, righteous individual. So you trying to do everything that the belief system you fall in says is right and righteous. And it puts the barrier of fear in a position where if you're trying to be righteous, you don't even want to look over there. That's called getting stuck to the right. You can't even find out if you're getting the truth because you're so busy trying to be righteous. You overcompensating for the right. Right? You stuck to the right. That's how you get deceived being righteous. You can be righteous.
This right here with Lil Pump. Yeah. So he, and then not to mention he pardoned Kodak Black. I don't know what that was about. And Kodak Black must have, he pardoned Kodak Black, Lil Wayne, a couple more other guys, man, in the rap game.
Look, y'all gonna sleep on Kodak Black. Kodak Black his family's totem is the black bear.
Okay.
And they little, they ferocious, and they smart.
like a koala
Don't
bear.
sleep on Kodak Black. Don't sleep on Kodak Black, cause talk a little like this here. You don't really know what nigga be saying. Kodak Black up in you. Man, don't pay that country boys, man. We find a way to always seem dumber than our mark. That's always gonna keep us in the position of outsmarting the motherfuckers that thought they were smart.
Yeah.
Because they underestimate our intelligence. Because we have a country slang, a country drawl, right? But this is why my parents, one of my things my father said to me, he said we had to move you to the city so you didn't talk with that country drawl.
Okay, go ahead.
Right? He said, because people tend to think that you ignorant if you talk with the country drawl. So I decided to add colorful epithets because that's a family tradition.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Them F-bombs I be dropping. Right? That's to express the discontent with the politics. Because there's no way that I can stand here and be politically correct when the politics is all wrong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You got to shock consciousness sometimes in order to make people pay attention to the absurdity of the go along, get along dynamic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? So Trump is the reenactment of the JFK. JFK had a whole program that he would have been able to play out had he not been assassinated.
Mm-hmm.
And it was turning the world's military into peacekeeping forces. And instead of going to war with everybody, we would be trying to feed and clothe and shelter as many people as possible. But not just food, clothing, and shelter, develop the area around what the area develops, if you know what I mean. So one of the things that I was going to teach, like in parts of Africa, I was going to teach rabbit farming because you can harvest large quantities of meat in a short turnover time. And you can, do this consistently under the farming conditions to industrialize third world nations. The whole thing is we wanted to use individual farms and not use slaughterhouse networks. That means only feed the people in your area, because that way you can feed on demand. You don't have to just be senselessly killing. Do you know how much of that shit that go to waste every year?
Right. Go ahead.
Right. So they killing thousands and thousands of cows, but only hundreds are being eaten. Right. So this is an offset because most of it go bad one way or another. Either we cook it and don't eat it all. Right. Sometimes we cook it. Sometimes we leave it in the refrigerator too long and it go bad. Sometimes it go bad at the stores. Right. And then they have to get rid of it. Right. So all that's excessive killing that's bringing negative energy to bring the people's senses to this level of savagery is part of the Babylonian blood magic. So that's why all these slaughterhouses is being shut down. So when we going back to the Divine Mother, we know Melania knew how to flip the sands as the first lady. She was mirroring Jackie Onassis. And Jackie Onassis was in office when the mother of the Nation of Islam was Clara Muhammad. That means that the mother of the Nation of Islam today would be Khadija Muhammad. If the mirror is accurate, that would update the Black Madonna data to bring us into a more modern time to determine the accuracy of the information. The only thing we got to verify, as we did this before, is that she got to have a daughter named Madonna in order to claim herself as the Black Madonna, which make her be Khadijah, mother of the righteous. Right? So you go on a scavenger hunt. So type in Donna Farrakhan. Let's just see if she got a daughter. Named Donna. Now I'm gonna use my family to fact check this. I'm gonna show you how it worked.
There you go, right there, Rod.
So this is Donna Farrakhan, daughter of the minister Elijah. The minister Farrakhan and mother Khadijah. Right? You see the picture of her right there with the green on, second from where you at.
This one right
now,
here?
remember I told you, no, the one you had just before this.
Right here, right there.
Yeah, that. Now, remember, I told you, in order for me to fact check this, it has to match something in my family. I had to be able to do what's called a family flip to verify the information, and then I'll know that I'm accurate. Can you zoom in on this picture?
Man, it's right here. We getting right into it, man. Hold on, can I blow it up? Hold up. Let's see. Dang, I don't want to do that. All right. Oh man. Okay, there. Hold on. Let me try something. Let me blow it up. Oh, right. It won't let me get it no bigger than that, bro. I wonder what's going on.
Well,
let me try this. Skip. All right, hold on, Rod. I'm gonna try something else. Let me try to save it again, but I'm gonna save it in that folder. Save it. Let's save it in that folder right there. Unable to direct it. Oh, it's not gonna save it now. Wonder what's wrong with that picture there why I won't save. Hold on, let me try something else.
Let's go. Let's just go to it. Let's go to it.
All right, there you go right
there. So when I do the mirrors, she look like my auntie Pam.
Okay.
Right? Pam flips map backwards. My auntie Pam have a daughter named Donna.
Okay.
Right? So Auntie Pam, it flips the map to match the Black Madonna off of a witch's brew on the knock to a knockback. Right?
Okay.
So her daughter Donna's favorite color is green, which is my mama's favorite color.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
Right? On the blue house knock to a red house knockback, the color that drapes the green represents my mama's favorite color over the red, which is my mama's home lodge, which is the red house, which is the house of the blood right.
Okay.
Right? So for other people, it doesn't mean what it means for me personally. But remember, we just turning the key on the Vatican to show you how the seats have been moved.
Okay.
Right? So if Mother Khadijah is Donna's mother, and Donna's mother for me had the map, then Donna Farrakhan's mother must be on the map.
Go ahead.
On the comparative analysis on a singularity closing in on a hometown flip.
Okay.
Right? So once we establish that we know who the four winds are, or the four kings, that's the four kingdoms.
Go ahead.
We know who is the opener of the way on the crooked man walking across the land. We know who returns with the mother plane, right?
Go ahead.
The mother plane is the mother's P lane, and the P lane is the pussy lane, and the pussy is the cat. And the cat is the black cat, and the black cat is the Black Panther.
Go ahead.
And the Black Panther is the symbol for the priests at war when they go into stealth mode. But the symbols represent the blackbird on what we call the African house, the African crow. The African crow is represented as the blackbird returning from the crossroads.
Okay.
So type in, go to the crow, type in quotes. Go to quotes to the Google, type in crow quotes. Because at the end of the day, it got to take us back to who is God. Mother behind it.